I found a woman that's actually taking accountability, guys. Once again, my name is Jeremy Cash. Welcome back to the division. Help a paralyzed veteran out. Help me get to 1,000 subscribers. Hit the subscribe button and go ahead and comment down below and like the video, share it, please. And let's just jump into this reaction, man. I found a video on TikTok like I usually do, and it reminded me of a personal relationship that I got out of.
Okay, bet. Let's talk about it. My first and only relationship. When I tell you I broke this motherfucker's heart, I am not exaggerating in the slightest. I created chaos constantly because it reminded me of the narratives and the storylines that I grew up with. Even though they were fucking traumatizing, it was comfortable. I would create conflict to see how badly this person would fight for me, because a love worth fighting for is a love that's valuable, right? I was so
A lot of I wouldn't even say women think this way. I'm gonna say girls think this way. I feel like women grow out of this eventually, but I think a lot of women do this. I think that they start off by doing all these like tests to make sure that your man will fight for you and will do the thing that you think that they're gonna do, and then you invent these things. But the problem is that you have an outcome that you want to happen, and whenever that one exact outcome doesn't happen, it is like a mark against him. It's like this really crazy thing that people do. I think guys do it too sometimes, especially at first whenever they start playing games. And this is the reason why I just don't, I never really wanted to do this stuff. Like whenever I got injured, this is kind of the stuff that went out of the window. So let's keep going.
incapable of believing that I was lovable and worthy of love, that I would constantly
That, that, that's the thing. That was the thing exactly that made me think about my actual relationship. So we literally were having a conversation one night where I asked her if she feels that she can be loved or that she has the capability of being loved, and she said no. And I said that's a huge red flag, and I just fucking ignored it, and I just kept going. If you ever have that conversation with a person, guy or a girl, and they say that they don't think that they can be loved, do not get in a relationship with that person. That's it. Just don't do it. Um, Also, if you ask a person, what do you want out of this relationship, and they say I don't know, or it's just some like whatever, like sex thing, that's fine too. But just know that that's all that's probably ever going to be, and you're going to get hurt if you fall for them. Uh, what you really need to do is find somebody who actually has an answer to that question. What do you want out of a relationship? Not this relationship specifically, but a relationship. If they can't answer that, if they don't know that they want a marriage, like if they don't know that they want marriage, they don't know that they want kids or not, um, all of those type of things, they should have all of those answers. And if they don't have those answers, then don't give them the chance unless they are ready to like really do some deep introspection, I guess, and like really figure those answers out with you over the next like couple weeks. But I wouldn't waste time on them at all.
test and push this person's morals and standards and boundaries and desires to see how much they would sacrifice to keep me. Because if they sacrificed all that they had for themselves, maybe, just maybe, that could mean that they loved me. And as you begin to do that to another person, it chips away at their self-worth, and it chips away at the
Self-esteem,
wholeness that they previously had.
yeah,
And
confidence,
ultimately, that's just a self-serving relationship where you're constantly taking. But the
and taking until you leave that person empty, and they don't know how to heal. Like I literally had to go to therapy after this shit. Like I generally don't think like obviously people need to go to therapy, but I also think that you can do a lot of just self introspection and just fix yourself, because really whenever it comes down to it, that's pretty much what it is. Um, but it is nice to talk to somebody and have somebody else's perspective and point of view to help you realize certain epiphanies. So, um, but she's exactly right. You destroy somebody's self worth. You just and that's when you do that. Like it takes years and years and years and years of recovery. Like I don't even know where I want to even go to get a girlfriend, or even if I would want to, or how to do it, or anything, because it's been like 3 years. I have zero desire. I stay in my house. Do not go out to like go hit on anybody, especially. I like if I go to a bar or something like that, it's to have a drink and play on my phone by myself, or hang out with one of my friends that I went there with. I am not going there to approach somebody at all. I have zero desire for that anymore. But let's keep going, man.
Shittiest part about it was that as much as he poured into me, as much as he gave to me, it was never going to be enough because my cup had a hole at the fucking bottom and I had this insatiable need for validation and support and comfort, but it was never going to be enough.
And then I don't know about her situation, but my situation, she started fucking around. She started cheating, which is the fucking stupidest thing because I told her that she could have sex with other people as long as she was honest with me. Because I really don't care. And if you want to have like an open relationship like that, I'm totally cool with that. I will go have sex with other people too if you're going to be doing that as well. But I would need to know that you're going to go do that thing because I want to know kind of who that person is, what they're about. Like possibly, do they have STDs? Do I need to go get tested? Do you need to get tested? Are you guys using protection? Are you not? Those kind of questions. Um, those are all very valid things in my opinion, personally. But uh, she couldn't handle that. She couldn't handle just not lying to me. And like, just one story. This is the craziest one. Uh, it was like Halloween, and instead of letting me go to a Halloween party with her, she said that her brother-in-law, who is new to the country, so her sister's boyfriend, or her sister's husband, and father to her sister's children, uh, asked her because I guess her brother-in-law and her sister were like kind of like on the outs or whatever, right? So, anyways, he was staying at her mother's house with her, like in separate bedrooms, and he asked her to go to the Halloween party. And I was just like, okay, well, we've been dating for like a year and a half. Like, I should be going to this Halloween party, and you should never have agreed to go to it without saying, well, I'm not going without my boyfriend. Because that's, first of all, it's Halloween. Like, that's a date that you're supposed to be hanging out with your spouse generally, and that's like kind of an expected thing. So, regardless, come to find out, when I ended up going through her phone later, and I had my suspicions then because I just thought it was like a really fucking weird thing. And she got like super weird and really defensive about it. But anyways, when I went through her phone later, like months and months later, I went under his name and read their whole text messages, and yeah, they fucked that night, and they had been fucking, and yeah, it's just ridiculous, bro.
Because I knew this person would let me walk all over them, I would constantly up the scale of the fucked up shit that I would do. I would say meaner shit. I would lie even worse. I would manipulate even harder. And as fuck.
She never really said mean shit, which is probably one of the things that made it harder because if she had been doing that, I don't think I would have stood for it, and I would have like been. But she was like always like loving and caring about things, and then she would like try to blame it on her alcoholism or her drug use or like all this other shit. Like she was bipolar as well, so she would try to blame it on that and be like, "Oh, I was just in a manic episode, or I was in a depressive episode," and blah 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 blah. But yeah, she would be super super manipulative and lying about everything. And it got to the point too where I found out the reason why she wasn't wanting to share and wasn't wanting to be honest with me about the things that she was doing is because she was fucking these guys for money. So that's where this shit all goes. It's pretty crazy.
Fucked up as it sounds, like so much of me felt so validated that this person was struggling over me or upset about me or even thinking about me, as frustrated or hurt as they were, because if I was at the forefront of their mind, it meant that they cared. I absolutely didn't believe that I was lovable, and I absolutely didn't believe any actions of love from this person towards me. So I went around these fucked up loopholes to try to find evidence that they did love me, but it was never going to be enough.
Yeah. And it never was enough. And I'm fairly positive that she was a narcissist as well. And I'm like really learning a lot about CPTSD and just a whole bunch of different like just relationship traumas and just different things like that. Just not just from her, but from other people. I'm glad that I'm like growing up and learning about this stuff because, and it's mostly from TikTok, which is crazy. I never thought that the dancing app, quote unquote, would have been teaching me about a lot of the things that I didn't even know were like a thing. So, uh, I don't know, man. This shit's fucking crazy. It's just really hard. I don't understand why people are like this. Um, but and again, who knows, man? Everybody's different. Everybody has a different upbringing and they take things in differently. Just like whenever I was growing up, most people I feel like would have tried to emulate my father, where I looked at what he was doing and I was like disgusted by it and I didn't want to be like him at all. So there's just different things like that. But I don't know, man. It was really rough, and I'm finally back to being like a whole person again, which is nice. But at this point, I really know where to date because I don't want to go to a bar and meet a girl at a bar. I don't want a girl who drinks a lot. Like I don't mind if they drink every once in a while, but uh, I definitely don't want to drink or date a person who drinks every single weekend or all the time. Like I'm way past that period of my life, and I'm into the let's save money and actually get to a decent retirement, shit like that, kind of part of my life. So, anyways, guys, these are all my opinions. Jesus Christ, man, these are all my opinions based on the facts that I have at the time and the video that I'm reacting to, and watch those videos over there and subscribe right down here and leave some comments. Get down in the discussions. I do respond to every single comment. So get in there. And until next time, peace, peace.